ever noticed how certain people just seem to experience doors swinging open for them regularly, while others, no matter how they try, always appear to face an uphill battle? Do you know people who, while otherwise unremarkable, are strangely blessed with frequent good luck, and other poor souls who appear fated only for endless frustration? We know injustices take place in the world, and that unexplained joyous and yes cruel twists of fate befall individuals. But can these positive and negative tendencies be reversed? A multitude of ancient wisdom insights found in Stoicism, Hinduism, Taoism, and Buddhism have long hinted at a fascinating secret, one which holds the potential to transform your life. That's the concept of synchronicity with the universe. And while it might at first sound like a strange mix of pseudoscience and a hippie bumper sticker, it's worth at least one careful look. We're speaking of a life principle that has been repeatedly raised, albeit in parables or poetically, in the words of Lao Tzu, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and even Marcus Aurelius. This episode's our attempt to condense what these and other profoundly wise, insightful thinkers, or spiritual schools each using their own language, have persistently implied. Synchronicity with the universe is maintaining, whenever possible, internal alignment with the present moment, as opposed to mentally living in one's past or future. While easy to say, experience of course tells us that's not easy to develop, and also in daily life difficult to maintain. But challenging as it is, it offers something wondrous. That's because living in the present moment brings your consciousness into alignment with the whole of life, of which both you and the present moment are simply integral parts. When alignment happens, that whole, the totality of life, what some call the universe, is no longer distanced from you, and then it in essence flows through you, in natural harmony. How does that work? Because on one hand, that whole comprises all that exists, as in the cosmos or entirety of creation. It's what others might call God, or the Great One Life. But each thing that exists, whether a microorganism, human or solar system, is not really a separate form, but a part of the web that interconnects multi-dimensions. Our limited perception, which reduces reality to that which our small range of physical senses can access, is partly why humans don't sense their oneness with the whole. However, our main blindfold is that which also stops us living in the present moment, our compulsively busy minds, anchored in past or future, and endlessly labeling everything. When we practice perceiving without instantly editing those perceptions by interpreting or mental labeling, we then begin to sense the connectedness of apparently separate things. Incessant mental channel hopping, that is, compulsive thinking, has made the universe disintegrate for most of us, overthinking slicing reality up into random lifeless fragments. And demonstrably, unintelligent destructive action such as mankind's war on nature has arisen out of this fragmented view of reality. Real wisdom comes from living in wholeness. In contrast to most humans, nature itself exists in a state of unconscious oneness with that greater whole, as referred to in Jesus' famous advice to consider the lilies of the field. Thus, as has been documented many times, birds and animals will evacuate an area just before a natural disaster strikes, such as a tsunami, earthquake, or volcanic eruption. Ancient harmony practices such as feng shui, magnetic fields that birds follow to crisscross the world, and the belief in ley lines of invisible energy point to this synchronicity principle, as does science's butterfly effect theory. When we become better aligned with the whole, we become more conscious of it, and more interconnected with everything. which inevitably changes the fabric of our lives. What does that mean in real-world terms? The increased likelihood of synchronistic events, in the form of spontaneous helpful occurrences, coincidences, chance encounters. Isn't this entire idea just wishful thinking for mystical types? Hardly. The brilliant Carl Jung, who founded analytical psychology, called synchronicity life's a-causal connecting principle. He meant there's no causal connection between synchronistic events on our surface level of reality, because it's the outer manifestation of a deeper whole our minds can't understand. Yet we can align our deeper selves with that whole if, through self-observation, meditation, and practices like yoga or Tai Chi, we simply practice living in the present moment, that now. By decoupling from compulsive past and future thought, we can progress towards living in greater harmony with the totality, therefore in alignment with that cosmic intelligence. And when we do, we significantly increase the likelihood of what on the simplest level, people call good luck, becoming a more frequent part of our lives. Can this be true? Great teachers and philosophers, who millions still honor and follow, seem to think so. Have you experienced the secret of synchronicity in your life? Please tell us about it in the comments section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more life class insights. If your instincts are telling you that synchronicity is a reality worth pursuing, you'll find more tips to help you attain it in this installment's cousin, our very practical episode 25.